All my friends and relatives in four directions. This is Robert Pilot of Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake. I'm here to ask you for your support. Finding honest Native-centered news is not easy. But with your support, we're able to provide accurate information about Standing Rock, Line 3, treaty violations, and COVID-19 in our Native communities. Please visit Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon and donate if you can. That's Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon. Pinigigi, and thank you for your support.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Hey, it's Robert Pilot from Native Roots Radio. For a meal that feeds your soul and health, check out Gatherings Cafe. Located in the renovated Minneapolis American Indian Center, Executive Chef Vernon Defoe and team serve up incredible indigenous flavors. Gatherings Cafe has amazing bison tacos featuring lean protein from native wise, corn tortillas, and homemade sides. It's fresh, local food rooted in ancestral knowledge. Stop by for breakfast or lunch. That's Gatherings Cafe, where tradition meets innovation.
There's a powerful story being shared at All My Relations Arts in Minneapolis. Unchi Said So, a solo exhibition by Danielle Seawalker, brings forward Native stories shaped by collective identity, generational knowledge, and teachings passed down through community. Through bold color and portraiture, this work honors the significance of grandmothers in Native culture while reflecting the idea that sovereignty begins at home. On view now through June 6th. Plan your visit today at allmyrelationsarts.org.
Doherty Family College at the University of St. Thomas offers an affordable 2-year associate degree with a seamless path to a bachelor's. Located in downtown Minneapolis, students receive free textbooks, a laptop, meals, career coaching, tutoring, a Metro Transit pass, mentorship, and paid internships, all at Minnesota's largest private college. Ready to turn dreams into reality? Apply now at dfc.stthomas.edu. Doherty Family College, your journey to success starts here.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Tonight, cloudy with a low of 37, then Friday, sunshine with a high of 54. There's something for everybody at Cafe Latte in St. Paul, from award-winning soup, salad, sandwiches, and desserts to treats from the bakery made fresh daily and a pizza and wine bar. Cafe Latte is located on the corner of Grand Avenue and Victoria Street. Check them out at cafelatte.com.
Portions of Native Roots Radio may be pre-recorded.
It's a good day to be indigenous.
Get up, stand up.
They are going to become more brutal.
Couldn't cut, hit me cut again.
Because all the hippies were trying to be Indians anyway.
They're going to become more repressive because it's a matter of dollars and their illusionary concepts of power.
Hey, Victor.
We must live in balance with the earth.
And also with recent happenings at Wounded Knee.
I am awake.
Welcome to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Wakanja Hade. Hey, Kadagi to all my friends and relatives in four directions. You are listening to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Robert Pilot. Hey, we discuss local, national, Native news and events. And as you know, Native issues are human issues, and human issues are Native issues. Hey, today we're going to have our friend Robert Liligren on. And then later on, Wendy will give us a live update of what's going on in our next door at our I want to say friendly state of Wisconsin with what's going on with the Beagles. And as you know, if you were listening to the show yesterday, we had some really good news, and she's got a follow-up for that. And again, we're going to have Robert Liligren on, and I just want to, we're going to talk about a lot of things, but I want to talk about, before he comes on, that tomorrow, the 2026 kickoff event, May 1st, American Indian Month. May is American Indian Month in Minnesota. Parade starts at 10 p.m. with the opening prayer and greetings and drum and speakers. Then 10:30 is when the parade steps off. And then 12 p.m. is the announcement of the float contest winners in a lunch at Cedar Field. So we're always really excited for that. It's fun, and a lot of people show up. So if you're in town and if you're around, please stop in and see us at the Cedar. Let me get that again. The Cedar Field in Minneapolis. And so, again, it's fun. We always talk about it's American Indian Month here in Minnesota, but as you know, here on Native Roots Radio, it's always Native American month here. So great things to happen here. We're going to talk a little bit too with Robert about what's going on, but then after that, if you're again locally here in the Twin Cities at the Minneapolis American Indian Center, there's going to be an open house powwow, American Indian Month kickoff, and that's going to start at 4 to 9 p.m. on May 1st. So that's happening after the parade, a couple hours after. If you're anything like me, you're going to have to take a quick nap and check out what's going on with the back of your eyelids, and then wake up and have a little coffee and then go to the powwow. So exciting here in Minnesota, and again at the Minneapolis American Indian Center, open house / powwow. And it's just to kick off a beautiful thing, American Indian Month kickoff. And so, again, a lot going on here. One of the things, too, we have our friend Jerry Dearly, who I've known for many, many years, and he is the MC. Jerry and I worked together at Harding High School, and he was a Dakota language speaker. And what's really interesting about Jerry was also worked at the Red Schoolhouse. And if people don't know about what the Red Schoolhouse was, it's a school that American Indian movement started in St. Paul, Minnesota in the early 70s. And it was a school for Native American kids. And really a great idea. It was a survival school. And they talk about these things, survival school, and and it was just that, the survival school. So, Jerry has deep roots here in the 5-state area, in the Dakotas, and of course here in Minnesota. And he will be emceeing, and it's always kind of fun to hear the powwow MCs. And one thing too, I want to just revert to real quick is anybody's invited to these powwows. Come on, and it's a community celebration. You'll be able to do some things. I'm sure there'll be vendors there. And again, we always talk about this: support our native vendors, to support our workers, our artists, I should say, that are out there, doing their thing, doing their art, and anyone can buy these things. So it's come support this, and, it's just going to be a beautiful thing. Again, today we're going to have Robert Liligren on, and then later on Wendy Pilot. Here, I'll give you kind of a sample too of what's going on here in Minnesota. One of the things I wanted to bring up too, if you are in Minneapolis, American Indian Center powwow on May 1st, you can get a free bus ride on the Metro line, and that is an amazing thing, and that is an amazing partnership we have with Met Council and Metro. And so there's a lot of things you can do. Minneapolis American Center, look up Metro Transit and get on there and possibly get a free ride to the powwow. The Metro Transit is providing public transit rides from 4 to 10 p.m. for powwow attendees. So wherever you are, you have no excuse not to be there at the powwow and doing it up in a good way. Also, next week, there's going to be some major information coming out, I've heard, from the Circle magazine. And I don't know if you're familiar with the Circle magazine. It's a national magazine that started here in Minneapolis and has been running since 1980. And they have since shut down printing for a month or two, but they're reorganizing, and there's going to be a update on Monday. So that's really, to me, very exciting to see what's going to happen with this great magazine that's had so much information over the years. And and it's a legacy magazine. That magazine's come out once a month forever since 1980. And as you know from yesterday, we talked to Dr. Stately, and Dr. Stately at 17 years old was the editor of this magazine, and I've seen some old copies of it, and he did a great job. And so really looking forward to what's going to be happening with this great magazine called The Circle. And I know they get a lot of action. It's the circlenews.com if you want to look it up. People from all over the world read this and subscribe to this magazine. So there's some really important information that's coming up and will be coming up really soon. As of Monday, I do hear there's going to be a press release on this great piece of literature. Also, too, really excited. Again, I want to invite all our white allies out there, all our Native kin out there, to definitely come to the powwow tomorrow. In just a second, I have to clear my throat. I'm talking too much. You guys usually aren't used to me talking because we have so many great guests over the time, and right now I'm babbling, but we have such great guests. And the 10 years that we've been on Native Roots Radio, I think that's really what's been driving this show all these years, is the great guests we have. Like today we'll have Robert Liligren, and again an update from Wendy Pilot about what's going on in Wisconsin with this farm and our beagles and our relatives with 4 legs and hooves. Again tomorrow, May 1st, 2026, kickoff event, May 1st, American Indian Month parade. Its theme is building a strong and healthy community, gathering at the Cedar Field at 10 p.m. opening prayer, greetings and drum and speakers, and then at 10:30 a.m. a parade step off. So, and then 12 p.m. the announcement of the float contest winners, which is always really exciting. One of the things that it's gotten really competitive, and I don't know who won last year, but I know the year before, Ruth Anna Buffalo's group, Minneapolis Women's Indian Resource Center won it, and they're really proud and they want to come back to it. Hey, again, this is Native Roots Radio. We're going to take a quick break and be right back. We'll see you in a few.
Doherty Family College at the University of St. Thomas offers an affordable 2-year associate degree with a seamless path to a bachelor's. Located in downtown Minneapolis, students receive free textbooks, a laptop, meals, career coaching, tutoring, a Metro Transit pass, mentorship, and paid internships, all at Minnesota's largest private college. Ready to turn dreams into reality? Apply now at dfc.stthomas.edu. Doherty Family College. Your journey to success starts here.
I heard sex trafficking happens a lot in Indian country. What is that?
Here are some of the real reasons why sex trafficking happens in Indian country. Unequal gender roles that were forced on us by colonization. Communities don't have enough resources. Silence around domestic and sexual violence. Lack of attention and justice for missing and murdered Indigenous people. There's a lot of behavior that keeps our communities out of balance. These are just a few true reasons why Native communities are targeted by traffickers. When these acts of violence happen in our communities, it opens us all up for exploitation.
Sponsored by the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition.
Support comes from the Walker Arts Center, an art space that's more than the spoon and cherry. Galleries celebrate contemporary visual art, including Indigenous artists like Edgar Heap of Birds from the Cheyenne and Arapaho nations, and Jim Demeny from the Ojibwe Nation. Additionally, film screens, cinema, and performances are shown on stage. And the Walker is free every Thursday night and free every day for citizens and members of tribal nations. Learn more at walkerart.org.
There's a powerful story being shared at All My Relations Arts in Minneapolis. Unchi Said So, a solo exhibition by Danielle Seawalker, brings forward Native stories shaped by collective identity, generational knowledge, and teachings passed down through community. Through bold color and portraiture, this work honors the significance of grandmothers in Native culture while reflecting the idea that sovereignty begins at home. On view now through June 6th. Plan your visit today at allmyrelationsarts.org.
I'm Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan, and I want to be your next United States Senator, and you are listening to Native Roots Radio.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot. Hey, welcome back, everyone. Hey, we're going to switch it up a little bit here. We're going to have our sacred animal portion here and get an update from Wendy. And again, a big peeny gigi Wendy for Wendy. I can't say your name. Did I have a stroke?
I hope don't. Please
Wendy.
don't have a stroke. You just went to the doctor today and got a really good update.
Yeah, but then I went and I ate some
It's
bad food.
healthy as a
because
horse.
I wanted a Cajun breakfast. So,
Oh.
yeah, a lot of cream, heart, and everything
yeah,
like
that's
that.
what happens. I'm doing great. Let me just mess everything up now.
Yeah. Hey, thank you, Big Peeny Gigi. Thank you so much for that update yesterday. That was
Yeah.
amazing. Let's talk a little bit more and take it away.
Yeah. So again, Riglin Farms in Blue Mounds, Wisconsin. We have a lot of good updates, and I couldn't believe it yesterday. You know, we had an update that Laura Trump is offering $1 million to get 1,000 dogs out. I'm trying, there's a lot of different reports and news reports that came out. So this one, I believe, is it. So this is from the Dane County Humane Society. So everyone knows that I went to Blue Mounds, Wisconsin on April 18th to try to get the dogs out. And we were pepper sprayed and tear gassed, and rubber bullets were shot at us. And there was around 1,000 of us. And we really, we really caused a ruckus. We really, really did. We got into good trouble. We were all peaceful, and it caused so much news press that I can't believe it. I can't believe how much news press that it caused. I mean, people from around the world were talking about these Riglin beagles, that they wanted them released. And Laura Trump, I think her name's Lara, Lara, Lara. I don't know. I don't think you pronounce it Laura. I think it's Lara. Anyway,
Call me Robert then.
Okay, I'll call you Robert. So anyway, from the Dane County Humane Society, and this is where I brought all the supplies after I was so disappointed that I wasn't going to be able to use these supplies for the actual beagles that we were supposed to get out that day. So we left with no dogs. We were all just devastated. And the Dane County Humane Society said to me, wow, we're really following this. And, thank you for doing all you're doing, and thank your group. And, but we can't really get involved because we could lose our license. We could get into a lot of trouble. But the big news is that the Riglin Farms, the breeding facility in Blue Mounds, Wisconsin, agreed to release 1,500 beagles, and together with partners, shelters, and organizations, the Dane County Humane Society will be preparing around 500 dogs for their next steps in the incoming weeks. It says here, they said that we will conduct veterinary exams, provide immediate medical care and vaccinations, and facilitate transfer to partner shelters and rescues. So they're going to take the dogs in, they're going to vet them up, they're going to get them neutered and spayed, vaccinations, do whatever they need to do. The beagles that stay at the Dane County Humane Society, they said, I believe around 150, will also require ongoing medical care, behavior support, and time to adjust to a life in a new setting. When they're ready, they will need adopters. This is a large resource-intensive effort, and we need your support. So you could donate. Excuse me, you could go to the Dane County Humane Society if you want. You could donate some money because they're going to be using a lot of resources to help all these dogs. You could also help by adopting animals currently available at the shelter, which will free up our team to care for the incoming beagles and other animals. So you could go on their website to see the animals that are already there that you can get out, right? We need to move these dogs. Always adopt, please don't shop. The beagles will not be available for public viewing. An interest form for potential adopters and fosters are available on their website. It's www.giveshelter.org. That's easy, giveshelter.org.
You almost swore.
Did I?
No, I'm just kidding.
No, I didn't swear.
I'm just kidding.
So you could go on their website and fill out if you want to be an adopter, if you want to just foster, that's great. Once additional information is available, those who filled out the form will be contacted. Please do not call, email, or stop in to inquire about the beagles so our staff can focus on their care. All updates will be shared through our website and social media. Any additional funds raised will be used to continue the work Dane County Humane Society does every day. So I'm just so thrilled. And all these large organizations, there's another one called the Beagle Freedom Project. That's an amazing group. And that's what they do. They get these dogs out of the labs and they rehabilitate them and get them adopted and fostered out. So, and just realize that if you get one of these dogs, these dogs have been through literal hell. You know, they've been kept in an indoors facility their whole lives. They've never seen the light of day, never walked on grass before. You know, I see videos of the ones that did get released. You know, they got rescued in March, right? 30 dogs got out, 22 got adopted out, 8 got back to got back to Liligren Farms. But there's video out there of the dogs, and like one of the dogs is on a leash, and like all fours is like down, all fours on their paws, and like they're down on the ground, like they don't know how to walk on a leash, you know. So
let me just say this too, and thank you for everybody that's watching us on social media with the positive responses to what you've done, Wendy, and what you're reporting. Let me just say this: anyone that I've talked to does not think this is a good idea to have these animals and treat these animals this way. Not one person has gone, well, you know, they're saving lives or something, because now we have computers, now we have AI. We don't need to do this anymore.
Exactly. I mean, like we were talking, I was just, you know, they could grow any organ you want in a petri dish nowadays, right?
That's right.
And that's what you could do the testing on. Something that's not a sentient being, something that doesn't feel pain.
I need a third eye.
Doesn't feel like scared. I mean, these dogs literally go through hell and they're just tortured every day. So
well, and then
it's just like literally we caused such a ruckus.
Yes.
Wait,
let me get this again. Go ahead.
We really did. We caused such a ruckus, all of us who went there, and I would do it over again. I would do it every day if I had to, that I know that these dogs are going to be released now. Now, a lot of people I see, they're not getting rescued. They're being bought. That's not the same thing. You guys are setting a precedent now that all these dogs in these labs are going to have to be bought now. What are you doing? Listen, the dog that's in that facility being tested on and being tortured doesn't care which way, how, or what that they're getting out. They just care that they're getting out. And you know what I said yesterday? If someone I love, I had to pay ransom to get somebody. If Wanda was somewhere and they told me the only way to get her out is to pay the money, I'd pay the money. I love Wanda. I love the Beagles. I want them out. I don't care how they're getting out. I just want them out.
If it's a precedent, how many of these organizations are out there willing to sell their sacred dogs?
Exactly.
You know?
No, I know. Yeah. So anyway, if you can, Dane County Humane Society, check out their website. They have dogs available now. That would be really helpful if you can get them out and adopt them, so that the Beagles can come in. And, you know, I was really, this guy at the Dane County Animal Shelter, when I dropped off all the supplies, I literally had a truck full of supplies. He was so happy that I brought the stuff in, and I told him about the Liligren dogs, and he knew all about it. And I don't know if you're listening out there, but Leo, he was so supportive, and he just said, gosh, we all know about this and we just want the dogs to be released, but our hands are tied. And I told him, I understand, I know. So he was gracious enough to get up in front of all the supplies and take a picture with his thumbs up. So I'm just so happy that they're able to take some of the animals there. It was a really an unbelievable facility, the Dane County Humane Society. It was so big, I couldn't believe it. They have a wildlife section, and they have like, bunnies and lizards, and then they had a cat section and a dog section, and then they have you could just go in and get stuff that's donated and used, and then like a lot of the stuff that I brought there was brand new, right? So there was brand new stuff for the beagles. So they're going to sell that now in their store, and then the proceeds to whatever they sell goes towards the animals. So
great news. And I think
really,
we're wrapping this up a little bit. And Wendy, I wonder if you could stay on, and I want to talk a little bit to you about what are these our relatives with four legs mean to us as Native Americans.
Absolutely. Yes. And I want to tell you something also about Mark Pocan, what he did yesterday and today.
Oh,
yeah.
Let's lead off with that.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that.
I think we're going to take a break here. I don't hear the bumper music.
He's our ally, Mark Pocan. He's a senator in Wisconsin.
Yes.
So, I mean, listen, I call him and tell him thank you so much for his support. We really need somebody like him to stand up and do the right thing. So,
hey, we're here with Wendy Pilot in our Sacred Animals section here. We're going to talk more about what our four-leggeds mean to us, but also a big shout out to our allies out there that are really stepping it up, like you, Wendy, and all the other people around Turtle Island. Very, very awesome. Hey, this is Native Roots Radio.
Stay with us.
We'll be right back. Support comes from the Walker Arts Center. Local artist Rosie Simas, Seneca Nation of Indians, Huron Clan, embodies Onondaga philosophies of peacemaking and relationality in new immersive installation. Visit Agajengwa, Destiny Gowe Weni. I hope it'll stir your mind and explore a space built for communal rest and contemplation. CMOS presents a performance of the same name this May. Learn more about the exhibition and performance at walkerart.org.
There's a powerful story being shared at All My Relations Arts in Minneapolis. Unchi Said So, a solo exhibition by Danielle Seawalker, brings forward Native stories shaped by collective identity, generational knowledge, and teachings passed down through community. Through bold color and portraiture, this work honors the significance of grandmothers in Native culture while reflecting the idea that sovereignty begins at home. On view now through June 6th. Plan your visit today at allmyrelationsarts.org.
Doherty Family College at the University of St. Thomas offers an affordable 2-year associate degree with a seamless path to a bachelor's. Located in downtown Minneapolis, students receive free textbooks, a laptop, meals, career coaching, tutoring, a Metro Transit pass, mentorship, and paid internships, all at Minnesota's largest private college. Ready to turn dreams into reality? Apply now at dfc.stthomas.edu. Doherty Family College. Your journey to success starts here.
Support comes from the Walker Arts Center. Did you know that the Walker has a cinema that shows film almost every week? From artist talks, genre-defined performances, and world premieres to archival shorts and experimental soundscapes, the Walker Cinema explores all modes of global and local filmmaking. Get your first tickets for free. Visit walkerart.org/cinema to learn more. That's walkerart.org/cinema. See you at the movies.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
This is Chase Iron Eyes announcing a new show on AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota, powered by Native Roots Radio. The show is called Native American Patriot Talk Radio. What will we do on the show? We are going to explore and dive into the source of American constitutional sovereignty, the intersection of Native American and legal issues. Find us the first and third Tuesday of every month at 6 p.m. on AM 950.
Support comes from the Walker Arts Center, an art space that's more than the spoon and cherry. Galleries celebrate contemporary visual art, including indigenous artists like Edgar Heap of Birds from the Cheyenne and Arapaho nations, and Jim Demany from the Ojibwe Nation. Additionally, film screens, cinema, and performances are shown on stage. And the Walker is free every Thursday night and free every day for citizens and members of tribal nations. Learn more at walkerart.org.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Tonight, cloudy with a low of 37, then Friday, sunshine with a high of 54. There's something for everybody at Cafe Latte in St. Paul, from award-winning soup, salad, sandwiches, and desserts to treats from the bakery made fresh daily and a pizza and wine bar. Cafe Latte is located on the corner of Grand Avenue and Victoria Street. Check them out at cafelatte.com.
AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota.
You're listening to Native Roots Radio. I'm Bobby Wilson. Wicha.
Welcome to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Wakanja Hade. Hey, welcome back, everyone. This is Robert Pilot, and we're with Wendy Pilot. And Wendy, this is like the old days of Pilot's Progressive Party.
It feels that way, doesn't it?
Yeah, you're a pro. I remember, too, when we first started 10 years ago, how I don't know if it was out of laziness or whatever, but how I said, I'll just wing it. And you wrote down like all your stuff.
I did. I was very prepared.
Yes, you were.
And now I wing it.
And then I got to just tell people, too, the history of Wendy and the sacred animal portion of the show. What did I give you? 3 minutes?
3 minutes. Once a week.
Yeah.
That's all I had.
And then it turned a segment.
A segment.
Yeah.
And then every day. And then
that
was getting too much for me. But now I do at least once a week, which is well.
And
sometimes if I have stuff, that come up, it's I jump on. Yeah.
Especially like today, amazing news yesterday that you gave us an update on.
I'm so happy. I swear I was just crying. I was just so relieved and so happy.
Yeah. Well, you wanted to talk a little bit about our relative and our person that's really supported this state representative.
You're right. I think I called him Senator Mark Pocan.
Call him president.
I know, right? He's a House representative in Wisconsin, Mark Pocan. He's been behind what we're doing this whole time. He wants those dogs out, and he's really stepped up to the plate and stood up and used his voice to help us. So I just want to give him a shout out and say thank you so much. We really appreciate it. But he just passed an amendment to the House Appropriations Agriculture Funding Bill targeting Wisconsin Liligren farms. The amendment forces the USDA to review and rescind federal licenses for dog breeding facilities that have already relinquished their state-level licenses aimed at curbing abuses at the Beagles breeding facility. And this is exactly what happened. So the key aspect of the action is targeting breeders. The amendment specifically addresses breeding facilities like Liligren Farms, which has faced scrutiny over hundreds of code violations and allegations of poor conditions. This is going to make the USDA take action against facilities that have given up their state license but continue to operate under federal oversight. So this is what he proposed in the Senate. The context: this follows intense scrutiny from local activists and Congressman Pocan, who questioned the funding and experiments at the site. So he's really taken a stand. Facility status: Liligren Farms has been in the spotlight, with the Yahoo News outlet noting the facility has warned of activist activity and defended itself against the allegations of the misconduct. An amendment is part of a broader effort to ensure animal welfare regulations are strictly enforced for large-scale breeders. I mean, this place, Liligren Farms, has been in business for 60 years. Could you imagine all the violations over the years, and nobody's done anything about it. This amendment that Pocan is putting forward is going to put a lot of pressure on these facilities to say, you got to step up and do the right thing. You know what? And you know what, Robert? We want all the dogs out. We want them all released. We don't want dog breeding facilities in our United States used for biomedical experiments. I mean, it's terrible. One of the experiments that they did, and this is really hard, and this is, if you don't want to hear this, turn off the radio right now.
Just put it on mute.
Put it on mute and come back. So one of the experiments that they were doing was feeding the dogs detergent and seeing how long it took the dog to die. Okay? You don't drink detergent, just like you don't put shampoo in your eyes, and you don't do other things like that. This is a stupid experiment that wastes tax dollars, and it's just being done so that the Rigland farms could get the money from the federal government to do experiments. And this is one of the experiments that they did there at this farm. So,
well, the amazing thing is, Wendy, I just want to touch base on this. And we talk about, like, this show started 10 years ago during Standing Rock, and we were out there and we saw all this news that was, well, we became really big advocates of what's right and what's wrong.
Exactly.
And you're a good example, and this has been a good example of, you know, that old quote, it's like, why isn't somebody doing something? And I realized I was somebody.
Exactly.
And you're a great example of that latter part of that statement. And I just want to, like, let people know out there that are listening that they can be part of change. And it's important to know that, and that one person can turn into 2,000 people, and you can make a difference.
Absolutely. And I think you should always stand up if you see something, hear something that you don't agree with, and it's not feeling right with you, then, you know, you got to stand up and do something about it. You know, there's another thing I want to talk about too. I'm going to be calling our congressional senator, which is still Klobuchar, right?
Yeah.
Because there's a dangerous farm bill right now that's going to be voted on. So we need to ask her to vote no on this farm bill that's in the Senate right now, because it's going to take away protections for farm animals, pigs in gestational crates, chickens in battery cages. They're going to take away all those protections that the animals have right now. And if this bill goes through, it's going to be so hard to get those protections back on. So we really need, it's the proposed 2026 farm bill. It's a HR 7567. It's titled the Farm, Food, and National Security Act of 2026. So we need to call our senator.
You know, I've learned,
not our state senator, your congressional senator.
What I've learned from you so much over the years, and talking about our sacred relatives, is this. If even, you know, if you're a meat eater or whatever, if you're eating anything that has stress, that has any psychological problems, you are eating bad things.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember our conversation years ago about that? Can
Absolutely.
you elaborate a little bit about that?
Well,
It's
because,
like this,
you know, the animals are being slaughtered in slaughterhouses in horrific ways. You know, there is no humane slaughter. Sorry, there just isn't. You know, an animal can be raised humanely, but they're not slaughtered. They all go to the same place, and they're all horrifically slaughtered for, you know, what, a meal that takes 15 minutes to eat. So the animal is releasing cortisol, right? Stress hormones throughout their bodies. This is what's going through their body when they're killed. This is what you're eating. You know, you don't realize this. Plus all the chemicals that they feed these animals, you know. Yeah. So
well,
anyway,
I don't know if we mentioned this or you were joking about it when you hopped on, but I went to see the doctor today.
Yeah.
And so my numbers are awesome.
Yeah.
But I don't know how many years you've been vegan.
You know,
Just give me a number.
I think it's around 14 years.
So 14 years ago, you became a vegan, and
Yep.
I'm not a vegan. I'm
Yep.
close to maybe a vegetarian, but not really, so I won't call myself that. My numbers, I bet you 14, 15 years ago, were on the way of not being good numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And my weight was a little heavier than I am now.
Yeah, your cholesterol was really high.
It
Your
was
blood pressure was high.
It was all really heading in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
And if you can't think about, our sacred animals, think about your health too. And I'm not saying I'm not a vegan. Wendy's a vegan, but just being married to a vegan and eating vegan options and going to vegan restaurants, I bet you 70% of my diet is vegan.
Yeah. I would say
80,
that too.
70.
I keep a vegan house. I
Yeah.
only cook vegan food in the house.
And before I
mean-
said you used to starve me, but that's not the,
If Robert wants to order a pepperoni pizza,
Yeah.
he's welcome to do that. But I'm not buying the food. I'm not
getting
buying,
hungry now.
and I'm not going to cook it or,
Well, we got a couple more
Whatever.
minutes on this segment, and we hope that Robert Liligren's doing okay, and
Yeah.
that because it's not like him. But what I'd like to do, if you don't mind, and it
Mhm.
might be a lot for you to do this, but it'd be fun to do what you used to do on Fun Facts Friday
Oh.
for the last part of the show.
I'd have to get.
And
I'd
what's
have to get
hilarious,
my,
what's hilarious too, in the stars, especially right at the time you were preparing to go to Wisconsin and free these beagles, people came up to me, and we've heard from our our neighbor, their boss, that they really, really enjoy when you're on the air. So that was one of the things too that was really fun when you
Yeah.
were on every Friday. Was Fun Facts Friday.
Right. Yeah. And the animal issues, there's just so many. And
we-
some of them are dark and scary and bad, and we
And
have
we
to
wanna
balance.
balance,
We have to
yeah.
balance it. So we have to give some good.
Looked like I was doing
we ha-
6'7", but I meant
we-
balance.
We have to do some good, fun stuff too. I'm just so thrilled that the beagles are going to be out of this Riegland Farms and they're going to go to good homes. It just makes me so happy. I can just cry my eyes out. I'm just so happy.
Yeah, that's awesome. And again, it takes a lot of people to make this happen. So when you feel like you're alone and feel like nobody cares, a lot of other people do that. So, resist, work together, find common ground, find common people, Wendy, that think like you do, and become part of the
Mhm.
resistance.
I want to give
Yeah.
before we move on, I really have to give a shout out to Wayne Shung. He was
Yeah.
the leader of the Simple Heart, and you could go on his website. He put all this whole thing together with other organizers. This Riegland Farm, rescue this open rescue. So I really want to give him a shout out, and it's called The Simple Heart, and you could go on his website and see how you could help. You could go on savethedogs.io and see how you could help. But Wayne Shung is really unbelievable guy. He's a lawyer, really smart, and he helped us do all this. So, yeah.
Well, that's really exciting, and I just got to say, one of our listeners that listen all the time, Santina, said that she's proud of you, and I don't know how many times I've said it, but I'm going to say it here live over the air. Really proud of you, Wendy, and you're a doer, and you're putting your money where your mouth is, and so
Thank
that's
you.
totally.
I appreciate that. I just do what I feel is in my soul. I just do what's in my soul.
Hey,
so.
up next with Wendy Pilot, I think we might have Fun Facts Friday here on Thursday. That'd
we'll
be fun.
do Fun Facts Friday on Thursday.
This is Native Roots Radio.
Stay with us.
Doherty Family College at the University of St. Thomas offers an affordable 2-year associate degree with a seamless path to a bachelor's. Located in downtown Minneapolis, students receive free textbooks, a laptop, meals, career coaching, tutoring, a Metro Transit pass, mentorship, and paid internships, all at Minnesota's largest private college. Ready to turn dreams into reality? Apply now at dfc.stthomas.edu. Doherty Family College, your journey to success starts here.
This is Chase Iron Eyes announcing a new show on AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota, powered by Native Roots Radio. The show is called Native American Patriot Talk Radio. What will we do on the show? We are going to explore and dive into the source of American constitutional sovereignty, the intersection of Native American and legal issues. Find us the first and third Tuesday of every month at 6 p.m. on AM 950.
Support comes from the Walker Arts Center. Local artist Rosie Simas, Seneca Nation of Indians, Huron Clan, embodies Onondaga philosophies of peacemaking and relationality in new immersive installation. Visit Agajengwa, Destiny Gowe Waney. I hope it'll stir your mind and explore a space built for communal rest and contemplation. Simas presents a performance of the same name this May. Learn more about the exhibition and performance at walkerart.org.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Hi, it's Dr. Evan Adams, and you're listening to Native Roots Radio. Hey, Victor, you better be listening.
In this portion of the show, we'd like to bring awareness to our wolf and bear populations throughout Turtle Island. Say no to the hunts.
Hey, this is the last segment of Native Roots Radio, and bringing Wendy on here. I don't know what you were doing, but I know you were going to come on the show later. Were you preparing a meal for us tonight?
I wasn't going to prepare a meal for us tonight.
Oh, that's fun. Well, hey, let's revert back to talking about our sacred animals. And I just want to say, too, dogs are so important to Native Americans. They're spirits. There's many things. Of course, all four-legged animals, but the spirits, and it's fun seeing old photos of Native Americans in front of their chipoteques or teepees with an old raggedy-looking dog. They've been in a lot of our spiritual leaders. Like I got a chance to meet Crow Dog. Were named after dogs in a sense. So very powerful. They carry a lot of spirits, and as you know, with the dogs that we've had over the years, they're family, they're people, they're beings, and they're very sacred. And I'm glad that we're talking about them today.
Yeah. And, Jane Goodall, she always said, like, she was with the chimpanzees, in Tanzania. That was her life's work. And often people would say, so, Jane, what's your first animal? And she would say, most people think my favorite animal is a chimpanzee because I spend all the time, but it's not. My favorite animal is a dog because they're so loyal and they trusting, and they're just, beautiful animals. And she said the chimpanzees are more like us. There's some really mean chimpanzees, just like there's really mean people. And, the chimpanzees are too much like humans. So dogs are my favorite. So.
I know our sacred dogs that we've had over the years, and we just have Wanda now, and she's kind of getting up there in years.
Yeah.
She's never asked me to put the toilet seat up or down. So I just want to.
Good for her.
She's not judging me.
It's much better to live with a dog than a person. I'd say. Definitely, I agree with that.
Oh wow! So I didn't say that.
So where do you find a dog's sweat glands?
In his tongue, or her tongue.
On its paws.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's sweat. Their sweat glands are on their paws. So if you're out on a hot day and the cement is hot, you have to put the back of your hand on the pavement to see how hot it is. And if it's too hot and you can't put the back of your hand on the pavement for more than 5 seconds, don't let your dogs go on there.
Of course, after you said that, I knew that.
Yeah. And then if they ever get like heat stroke or anything, wrap cool towels around their paws to cool their paws down. Yeah. Wow. How high can a penguin jump?
3 feet.
A penguin can jump about 9 feet.
What?
I know. That seems crazy to me. I need to see
Like
a
a
video.
lateral jump?
I don't know.
Or jump off a 9-foot cliff?
No. How high can a penguin jump? About 9 feet.
Wow.
I know. So a horsefly. How long on average do you think the horsefly can live?
I heard it was a short time, so I'm going to say 15 days.
Close, 28 days.
I was going to say 30, but I
Yeah,
switched it up to
that's
15
all they
right
live.
away.
Yeah, I know. Well, what's the best way you could tell a crocodile apart from an alligator? A lot of people can't tell the difference between, but this is the
Their tail.
no, you know what? It's their snouts.
Oh.
So a crocodile is more pointed and an alligator is wider and a more U-shaped.
See you later, alligator.
So the crocodile is pointy.
See you later, alligator.
And the alligator
After a
is
while,
round.
crocodile.
Exactly. I know. Which mammal lacks vocal cords? So we with our grandkids, we're like, what does the pig say? What does the giraffe say? What does
Meow.
this animal say? What does that animal?
Moo.
But which mammal lacks vocal cords?
A whale.
A giraffe.
Oh.
Yeah, a giraffe doesn't say anything.
Oh.
So a tiger says stuff. The the zebra says stuff. An elephant says
The lion.
sounds, but the giraffe doesn't make any sounds.
That was a good one. This is
Yeah.
very educational.
It is very educational. Now, this is for children and adults, these questions. How many times per second does a woodpecker peck? We see woodpeckers out in our yard and sometimes on the pole out there. They're out there. So how many times per second? In a second, how many times does a woodpecker peck?
I'd say 100.
20.
120?
No, 20.
I know.
20. 20 times per second. That's how fast. They have something also in their brain so their brain doesn't beat up against the inside of their head.
Yeah.
Oh, you know
Some
what it
lubricant.
is? It's like their tongue goes all the way around to the back of their head and it coats over their brain so that when they're hitting that wood so hard, their brain doesn't get.
Yeah. No concussions, you would think.
Mm-hmm.
You would think.
While mating, which distinctive shape do dragonfly tails make? I didn't know. So a dragonfly's tail changes and makes a shape while mating. What's the shape?
A question mark.
A heart.
Hey, really?
Yeah.
That's great.
What do you call a baby goat?
A goatlet?
A baby goat.
A goatlet?
Oh, a kid.
Oh, duh.
You know
I should
that
have
one.
knew that.
I thought you were going to get that one.
Yeah. Getting old.
Okay, so a house, you might get this because you're a musical kind of guy. A housefly hums in a specific musical key. Which is it? A housefly hums.
B flat?
F.
Oh.
Yeah. I know. This is a hard one. I wouldn't know this. I don't ever think we talked about hedgehogs at all. What's the word for a group of hedgehogs? And they have a funny name.
Jeez. How would I know this one?
I know. I didn't
What
know
is
this.
it?
It's a prickle. Don't hedgehogs have like the pricks are on them? Am I thinking of the same? Am I thinking of the same?
Like
the right
I think
animal?
you're thinking about a pickle.
It's a prickle.
Shoot.
Which sea creature can regrow its arms?
Sea creature grow
Yeah.
their arms? Octopus?
Oh, that's close. I would have said that, but it's actually a starfish.
Oh.
Yeah, a starfish can regrow its arms.
Wow.
Yeah. Hey, how long can a camel survive without any water?
24 days?
More than a week. Said
Oh.
more than a week.
I know that's camels were like a icon for people in recovery. That if a camel can go without drinking for 24 hours, so can you. Yeah,
There
just a
you
little
go.
trivia there.
That's a little. Which modern day animal is most closely related to a T-Rex?
A rhinoceros.
Which modern day animal is most
Oh, rhino is a modern day animal.
a T-Rex? That's like the dinosaur T-Rex. It's a chicken. Chicken, yes. A chicken is the modern day animal that is most closely related to a T-Rex.
Our grandbaby can say chicken really well.
She does. She could sign it too.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, we got about a minute left here. Give us a
let's
good
see.
one.
All right. How many bones can you find inside a shark?
Oh, bones. Jeez.
Yeah.
I don't know. What is it?
0.
What?
No bones in a shark.
I don't know what to say.
I know. Okay. How many types of ladybugs are there? There's a lot of types of ladybugs. That's all I have to say.
Right on. Hey.
5,000.
Hey, our Charles, thank you. He said, "Oh my God, Robert, goatlets forever."
That's a new species of baby goats.
Hey, if you're listening to the show, you are part of the resistance. From Chief Plenty Coops, the ground on which we stand on. It's sacred ground. It's the blood of our ancestors. We need to resist, divest, join our group, run for office, and vote, and get those beagles out.
That's right.
We're still here. We are the 7th generation. See you tomorrow. Tomorrow will be beginning of Native American Indian Month here in Minnesota.
Nice.
Yes.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis